Okay, we're recording. So thanks everybody for coming out to this little special webinar. I don't really do webinars too often, so this is kind of fun because, for me, I get to now practice doing this kind of stuff, speaking to like a live audience, such as on this webinar. So I'm just grateful for you all being here and being willing to, listen to me and hear me out and take whatever knowledge I think or value you can get out of this. So I'm just gonna mute you, Daniel, and then everyone else is muted. Sweet. So just give me a second. I'll share my screen, and then I'll get right into the slides that I just kind of threw together earlier today. So, oops. All right. You guys see that okay? Thumbs up if you can see it. All right, perfect. Yeah, so I kind of just took these 5 steps that you could take to become an influential and inspiring internet marketer. Now, as far as like the internet marketing side of things, I don't know if that's something that everybody here wants to do, but the internet is a very powerful way to get the message out. So whether you're just like sharing value with people, you simply just want to inspire people, I think the internet is a very powerful way to do that. And if you wanted to run a business with it as well, that's kind of like another cool avenue, right? So these are kind of the 5 steps to becoming an influential and inspiring internet marketer. And also I have a gift for you guys at the end. So if you stick with me, I'll just throw in a little bonus just for you guys spending this time with me. So first, what inspires you? For me, I get a lot of inspiration from tons of different places. It could just be this kitten that I have at this house now. My brother just got a little kitten, and that thing just inspires me to be more free and enjoy my life a little bit more. And then there's this couple that I've actually been coaching the last couple of weeks who are willing to take a risk, and actually they kind of want to start their own internet business, which is really cool. And that's something else that inspires me too. So like I think kind of the thing to begin with is to just really figure out like what inspires you and like why do you want to inspire others, because I think the inspiration is kind of like a flow, right? There's other people that inspire you, and then you then kind of pass that inspiration on. So I guess Daniel, like I already know Leah and Trina pretty well, so Daniel, if you wouldn't mind, like do you mind sharing some stuff about maybe some inspiration you've had lately, or why I know you've been talking about a bit of your story too, but like what I guess inspired you to share your story? Was there like a certain turning point or anything like that? Let's see here.
Just knowing some other people that have also gone through some of the stuff that I've gone through, and just certain things that I've shared, they've reached back out to me and said that that's helped them.
Right.
So for me, that was like kind of a turning point. Of part of me was like, I really don't care to share anything, but then once I got some positive feedback on it and they said that helped them, it's like, well, maybe I've got something going here.
Yeah. Now you almost feel as if it's like a duty of yours to continue, hey?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So we might as well go through everyone too. I'll just meet you here, Daniel. Leah, how about yourself? What inspires you to inspire others? I'm just going to try and unmute you. Oh, there you go.
So, hi, my name is Leah. What inspires me? I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, for me, it's about giving back to the community, right? So it's like I find that, we live in an age of information, right? And it's like everybody has a story, like you just said, and everybody's got something that can benefit everybody. So if we can just find like, a common ground or whatever, where we can all just share that information and help each other grow through the process, I mean, bingo, right? Like what else? So that's really my story. There you go.
It's awesome. Simple, straight to the point. Love it. Trina, how about yourself?
Sorry, just I didn't.
There you go. You're unmuted now.
I'm just getting my cousins over, getting some water.
Awesome.
That's so weird.
I know.
It's like, yeah, my cousin all the way over to my house just for some water.
Well, it kind of falls in line with what Daniel said with the way that I kind of became more inspired was when I started doing what they called Go Lives on Facebook and sharing things I learned, sharing value. Well, I didn't even realize it was much value until people actually messaged me, or people I didn't even know were messaging me explaining that, you know, either saved their life or one person actually reached out to me recently, and he said that he listened to my a couple of my Go Lives while he was doing his military workout. So I was like, I do that with motivational videos. So I was like, that's so epic. Okay. You know, like what inspires me is helping people and just knowing that I've either made some sort of difference or impacted them or helped them wake up to something that they thought that they can never become aware of. I just love helping people, and I don't really know specifically yet exactly how that looks, but so far what I'm doing is really inspiring me to keep going. And like my goal, my vision is to be, a public motivational speaker and be recognized for that. I'm on the road to that, but it's really cool when people reach out. That's what really inspires me to keep going, is when I get feedback like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I think I kind of experienced the same thing. There was just times where, when I really started to like post my truth and speak up and just like stopped caring about the thoughts of others, I actually got a lot more like really good feedback than like hate, I guess, from like the people I thought would like judge me. And then like some people are like, what happened to you recently? Did you go down to Peru and like do some ayahuasca ceremony and like have this crazy awakening? And I'm like, no, like, I guess it was a different form of an awakening, just reading books and kind of just being unhappy with where I was in life. And so even now, right? Like I get tons of people that are like, oh man, I love this, love this, love this. And I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just doing what I do. So it's definitely motivating to help you to keep going. So we just got one more participant, my man Justin. Justin, I don't know what exactly you're up to. I know you said you're at a family dinner or something. Are you able to share kind of what inspires you?
What's going on, man? I'm at a diner right now, eating dinner.
Nice.
No, it's just what inspires me is seeing everybody within the community, people coming in to GAZ. I don't know if everybody here is part of GAZ. Just like I wanted to get into the entrepreneurial world, and to have that avenue, GAZ, it's remarkable to see the change that people are making. And I went out to Las Vegas, and I just got off of a call to action with Michael Bernoff. And I don't know if anybody knows Michael Bernoff personally, but he's into NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and he's an expert in communication. And I have a trouble trying to get my point across, in life, and to see like a group like that inspires them to help other people get through what they need to get through in life. That inspires me to go out there and try to do the same thing for other people that need the help, that need guidance, and it really gets me fired up just to like think that like I could be able to do just a little talk with somebody, just a little conversation with somebody could really make an impact in their life from that moment on. So it's really cool to like be a part of a group that like, everybody collectively is getting people together and helping them search what they want and what they need in life. and that's what gets me going. And to see you guys killing it, it's awesome. You know, right now I'm on the sidelines, and I need to get some things together in my life, but you know, I'm here with everybody, and you know, it's baby steps. It's little baby steps that, you know, each step every day, just know that you got to take action, and you got to just keep moving forward. And that really gets me going.
I love it. Thanks guys for sharing. See, that just like all the shares that you just shared now inspires me. I'm like, oh yes, it just like gets me fired up too. So I know exactly what you mean. Cool. So we have about 20 more minutes until, 20 more minutes until Zoom kicks us off this meeting, because it's like a 40-minute time limit. Kind of silly, but is what it is. So let's get into step one, right? I know a lot of you guys have kind of already gotten into, you know, making videos and inspiring other people, but like that's like the simplest thing, right? Like if you see something you want to do, you just need to start, right? I know we are so good at overanalyzing and paralyzing things, like, and thinking like, oh, well, it's, you know, it's got to be like, but like maybe I can make this live video without actually making it. You know what I mean? And that's just not the case. Like you got to just do it and, you know, step through the fear, even though it can be a battle sometimes. Like recently I did my 10th and final speech for Toastmasters, which was, you know, a pretty big speech, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to make this like perfect, impactful speech. But what happened is that for like a month and a half, I didn't even do it, right? I just kept thinking, okay, it's got to be like this, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what I want to talk about. And then I just said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to try this new speaking style where I'm just going to show up in the room with a small idea of what I want to say, because I've been doing that on like Go Lives and other videos and stuff. And it's like, I just kind of get into like a flow when I start talking. And I said, why can't I do that in a room with people? It's just a different environment, but I've done it before on videos. So I told myself, look, I just need to start doing this. This is the type of speaking style I want to do. So I need to just start, right? So, you know, start making videos, start writing inspiring posts, and just be vulnerable. Sharing your story, like you said, Daniel, just like what you've been battling, that's the easiest way to connect with someone, because then they can immediately be like, oh, they're going through what I'm going through, right? They know how it is. Now you create that bond with whoever it is that you're helping, and it's so powerful, and it's very special, and I love it. Yeah, so obviously about your struggle, what you've overcome, start being uncomfortable to like get into the zone where if you're not feeling uncomfortable, I don't think I don't think you can grow without being uncomfortable, right? Any position or space that you're in requires you to be uncomfortable if you want growth, right? It wasn't comfortable when I did my very first video or when I first started stepping up. I can give you guys an example too, like the very first video I did down on the beach here 2 years ago in May of 2016 was awful. And I go back and watch it and I'm just like, oh God, like what was I doing, right? And that was just the start. And I told myself, okay, if I want to make videos and inspire people, I should probably just make videos and inspire people. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's really just like, that's like the easiest, most effective step is just to start. Step number 2 is to be hungry, right? Be hungry for knowledge. I know that when I'm not like learning something, I tend to just like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life if I'm not learning something, right? So like, you know, reading books, listening to audio books, that stuff helps a lot too. And that helps with expanding your message too. Not only can you share your own struggles, but then you can share the knowledge that you're gaining from these books and how it's applied to your life, right? And be hungry to help others. Like just focus on the other person getting the result. And that's, I think, just like the easiest way to really become influential is like get into those conversations with people, find out where they're at, share your stories. I know like I've had times where someone will share something with me and I'll be like, well, yeah, I went through the exact same thing and this is how I felt. And then like, you know, again, you create that intimacy and that connection, and that really relieves and takes the pressure kind of off the other person. And then be hungry for the results too. Obviously those are a little tougher to get right away, but if you focus on the end game, right? Like what you really want to be and what you want to, like what your vision is, eventually it just kind of like pulls you in that direction to get you to that end goal. I know my initial kind of vision or purpose 2 years ago was, okay, I want to just like mentor people, coach people, help people like overcome the struggle that I think most humans are dealing with, right? Like everybody's got a different story, but I think the feelings that we all experience are very similar, right? Like it might be just different scales or different levels, but most people are kind of experiencing the same feelings at like the core. And that was my intention, right? I was just like, I just want to like help others learn and grow. And, now 2 years later, I'm finally in the position where I've gotten the knowledge and, I've become better at, communication and just being vulnerable and like sharing the struggle, like sharing my mess ups, right? Like I'm not a perfect person. Nobody is. So when you can really, share that aspect of it as well, not just, on social media and with marketing, it's so easy to say, hey, look at me, I'm so cool. But there's kind of the other side that a lot of people forget about, where it's like, I messed up and this is what I did about it, right? That kind of makes it more real too. And that creates an even stronger connection with people. And then just step number 3, make moves, right? Even if it's just a message, right? If you see someone on Facebook who says something that you think, oh, maybe they need some help, or maybe that's a cry for help. Sometimes people will comment on my posts or on other people's posts, and they'll say, oh, bullshit, or like scam, or like, they'll cry out, but really that's literally a cry for help. And then what happens is my friend Graham, he actually had someone comment on one of his posts. It was just like a nice, inspiring post, and the guy was like, oh, bullshit, or whatever. And then Graham started messaging the guy, and ended up turning into them having like a deep conversation, and the guy was crying. So like, it's pretty powerful when even you just send like a little message. Chat. I just opened up the chat here. Trina, being vulnerable is so important. My folks go live. Yeah, absolutely. Being real. Like that's seriously, whenever I chat, like I do a little challenge, which I'll kind of show you guys at the end, but anytime someone does it, the end result is like the opposite. Like our brain is such a good script, and like it's so good at making up scenarios. Like how often do you overthink something, or you think something's going to go one way, but it's like the complete opposite? How often does that happen? That happens to me all the freaking time. Yeah, exactly. Right. So our brain's really good at just making up all these BS stories. And what's funny is you did your first go live, deleted it. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, so even if it's just a message to somebody, I'll give you guys an example too in a little bit of my buddy Keith. I'm kind of coaching him as well. He started just going out into the streets, and like he's got some stuff on his Instagram where he went and talked to this guy Mike, and now Mike has like a reason to live. Basically, they like broke down and had this like deep conversation. So it can be just simple acts of going out and talking to people. It doesn't have to like be online either. Like a simple post, live video, a recorded video, just anything to just share your story, any form. Like I like to do written posts and tell like stories in the written form too, because everybody consumes content differently. I personally like to watch videos. I don't really like to read through long posts. However, there's some other people who like to read and don't watch videos, right? Like there's some people who will read through an entire thing and be really engaged with it, but never even click play on your video. So if you can kind of integrate both and make content for all types of people, that's going to get the message out too. Like I share the same message in multiple different ways over multiple different platforms, because there's all types of people who will consume it differently. See, we had a couple more comments. Yeah, tons of people in America don't talk to each other even in the same room. I feel that for sure. I went to a little personal training kind of thing. They had a little this guy had an ad on Facebook, and then I went in because he was offering like a free personal training thing, but I walk into the gym, and there's like 4 or 5 people sitting in there already, and I introduced myself to all of them. And then afterwards, they introduced themselves to each other, but they weren't even talking to each other like the whole time. And blows my mind how kind of disconnected we are, but connected at the same time. So yeah, even just talking to people in the streets, that like a smile, man, a simple smile can be so influential and impactful to people. So step 4, this is where it gets more into the a little more serious kind of like Facebook marketing and that kind of stuff. It's just copy, right? Good artists copy, great artists steal. That's Pablo Picasso. I don't know if I fully understand exactly what he was talking about, but I get the idea, right? You want to find people you admire and do what they're doing, right? And I'm going to give you some examples of like some of my favorite posts. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like my posts lately have just been pretty on point. So I'm just going to go through them and kind of share with you like what I did in them, why I did them, and I'll see if I can find some other examples for you too. And then just reverse engineer. So be like, okay, this person's doing that. What's kind of the result they're getting? How could I integrate that into my thing? Copy, but use your own panache. I like this word panache. Some guy said, he commented on one of my videos. He said, I like your panache. So I had to look it up. It means a grand or flamboyant manner, verve, style, flair. So use your own flair, right? Like integrate your own personality into your posts, right? You can look through someone else's post that you admire, be like, okay, they had this kind of like layout. It's called like format hacking. This meeting's about to end in 10 minutes, so see if I can blast through this. But yeah, just make your own kind of flair to everything and just reverse engineer and copy what other people are doing. All right, so I'm gonna go over to my Facebook page. So even like just what I told you, great artists copy, good artists steal. What I did is like I started copying other people, right? Like you see this post, it's pretty engaging, right? It's like, here's the secret. You ready for it? Well, you can't quite see it until you click on it. So as soon as you click on it, Facebook knows that you're engaging with my posts. So now you're going to see more of my posts, right? Start making videos, stop, whatever. Just very simple, like kind of to the point. Those are posts that I really like doing lately, and always like have the picture as well, right? Like it's Facebook for a reason. Just simple stuff like this. Just this simple post. I don't know if you guys saw that one, but just sharing like simple pictures, like stuff that inspires you. If you feel inspired from something, share it. Right? And then this one, I've got like my picture on there again. Like you don't have to be a master right off the start. You're not going to be a master. You have to suck at the start to keep going. So I do the live videos, right? Like my Tesla Talk series. I'm sure you guys have seen that. It's kind of like my own little brand kind of thing. It's just like a live video, but I just go back into whatever is pretty much on my mind at the moment, right? Like I shared this post. This was someone else's post that inspired me, Richard Hill, talk about Steve Jobs, his last words dying. There's also Instagram too. So this is my Instagram. I kind of share just 1-minute videos in Instagram. These are called Real Talks. So these are kind of just like 1 minute like truth bombs, really like questioning people and bringing them up their awareness. You want to get people thinking about like what they're doing and how they can kind of change their life. Like one simple question can be so powerful for someone watching. And so the Instagram, it's like more personal. It's like, this is just me out golfing, enjoying a view, but then I share like, my real talks as well. So Instagram and Facebook are my 2 favorites at the moment. I don't know if you noticed, but Instagram released a new feature called Instagram TV, which I'm stoked about. You can check that out more on, right? So this is one, it's like, I've got my 2 other buddies here. We're all working online together, here to inspire and keep each other on track. And then look like, keep the negativity out of here. The list goes on and on and on. If you guys want to scroll through here later, definitely do. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, tons of different stuff. So, reading books, gaining knowledge, sharing that knowledge, sharing your own experiences. That's pretty much what it's all about. All right, step 5, find mentors. Hire them if you must. It'll save you time. It will, they'll know exactly what you need to do. Because I've gone through and I've tried doing things on my own, and the first year I kind of started getting really into like online business. I didn't get a single result, and I spent a lot of money and a lot of time wasting it. And then it wasn't until I found my first mentor where finally it's just like everything collected. It became so much easier. So like if you know someone out there who has the results you want, hire them, ask them questions, get on the phone with them, do whatever you can to get in the same room as them. That will help you tremendously because like they've burned the path before you, right? Books, webinars, videos, podcasts, those are the easiest forms of getting mentors. Like this webinar, this is recorded too. I've got more videos. Like you want to learn more from me too. I've got tons of videos on my Facebook, tons of videos on my Instagram, a few on YouTube. Haven't focused too much on that. But yeah, that's basically the 5 steps. Does that all make sense to everybody? Like, did you guys get value out of that? Did that help you? Is that like helping you kind of get,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, T.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys, it's my pleasure. So a special gift for all of you. I'm stoked about this. I don't know if you guys saw recently on my live, I was like, yo, I don't have time to talk to people, but you guys took time out of your day to be here with me. So I wanted to give you a free 30-minute like one-on-one mentorship call. Is that something that you guys would want?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You are all signed up. I'm thinking tomorrow, but obviously not everyone's schedule is kind of going to fit in perfectly. So we'll all talk separately on Facebook, and then we can line up like a one-on-one call. I just want to figure out where you're at in your life and how I can help. Set you on a path. Sweet.
That's awesome.
That's like the best gift you can give someone, like, especially like you are like a mentor in my life, T, and it's just like I know you're a busy guy, so like 30 minutes is a lot of time with you to be able to pick your brain and ask.
There's a catch though.
Oh, there's a catch.
Small catch.
Of course.
There's a small catch. You got to do a live video and tag me in it.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Okay? 2 minutes or more.
Busy.
2 minutes or more. And then just talk about this challenge and how you want to inspire people by stepping up or whatever you want to share. I know a lot of you have always been, you guys have already been sharing already, so this is pretty easy for you. But if you're watching the recording and you still want this is a go. So if you can go through this, once you do these steps, then we'll get on the call. How's that sound?
Perfect.
Awesome.
Oh,
Easy peasy.
I love it. Yeah, good with that, Daniel? All right. So we got 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Do you guys have any questions for me? You can do a little Q&A.
Oh, there we go.
What should I ask Tobias?
Well, I know I had some questions from someone who's not here right now, but I was like, yo, if you got questions for me, I want to answer them. So she gave me a list, and I'll see which ones I can answer here. Would the answer to how do you stay so positive and determined help you guys?
Yep.
Well, I think it comes down to just the fact that I look back at if I stopped doing what I'm doing right now, not only would I have to go back to the bullshit life that I had before, but the people I could help and impact along the way won't be impacted. There's kind of like two things. It's like, man, I can't go back. I just don't have a choice. You know what I mean? Do you guys feel that way?
Yeah, I've been feeling that way a lot recently. It's like, when you just feel, I don't want to say unmotivated, but lack of motivation, but you can't give up. But it's like, what do you do? I just asked my question, like, how do you, like, I don't know, maybe I'm answering it right now, but how do you actually like re-inspire, re-motivate yourself? Like, just remind yourself of your why. Like, sometimes I feel, I don't know.
I think
you nailed it, girl.
I think there's kind of because I think I know what you've gone through, and I know what you're going through. When I've gone through kind of phases where like I'm pushing real hard, right? But I'm not really like, it doesn't feel like it's kind of happening. And then I kind of like hit a wall, and then I just like fall back, and I'm almost just like, okay, gotta pull myself back up and push through. I think it's a slow process, and you just take your time getting back up and getting back into it. Just allow yourself some peace and some time to just like figure out you, right? Sit back. Like if you don't like, you don't have to just always be working. You can get more recreational, just like enjoy your life a little bit. What's like something you could do right away that, you know, something you enjoy, right? Like I love to just go on hikes or to go dancing, right? Like I've gone to like some what's it called, salsa dancing. Like I don't really do it that often, but like I've done it just because I'm like, man, it's just like, you know, it's a nice way to just socialize, get out, and just like, you know, just detach from like the hustle once in a while. And I've got less than a minute. If you guys have more questions for me, I could do a go live and you could hop on with me if you wanted, because I'm feeling pretty good about this. You're muted.
I might be doing my go live, so.
Action taker. I love it. Okay, guys. Well, you know, if you've got more questions for me, send me a message. You can even, you know, say some stuff in the go live or whatever. Yeah, and we can also, if you got more questions for me as well for the coaching call, then that would be like probably the best way to, you know, get your question answered.